What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 64 of the Let's Talk Nerdy podcast. On this episode, we are talking Arc Raiders, Bad Cheese, Xbox Handheld, question mark, and we're going to do a video game bracket of the best video games.
Turkey for me, turkey for you. Let's eat the turkey in my big brown shoe.
Just like a parody song.
I mean, kind of. You're on the right track. He's very famous.
Adam Sandler?
If I'm not back in 5 minutes, just wait longer.
You are now tuned in to the Let's Talk Nerdy podcast.
I love it when you talk nerdy to me.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go. Adam Sandler Thanksgiving song. Let's go.
Oh, I think I do know that.
Not one of his most popular hits for sure, but I mean, still, it's the time of year.
Yeah, time of the year. There's not very many Thanksgiving songs and music out there.
Dude, I was looking up good Thanksgiving songs to open the show with. I found a list of 40 and 38 of them didn't relate to Thanksgiving at all.
Yeah.
It was mostly just Christmas songs. Hey, are you looking for a great Thanksgiving song? Well, Christmas is right around the corner, so why don't you just do that instead?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was finding a lot with some of the stuff we were trying to find to do for the episode. But yeah, listen up here, people. Quit overlooking Thanksgiving. Actually, I don't know. Are you a big Thanksgiving fan?
Adam is the ultimate Thanksgiving hype man, and I love that for us so much.
To be honest, I love Thanksgiving, but I don't eat enough food on Thanksgiving. I have one plate of turkey, stuffing, and mashed potatoes, and I call it good. And I think for me, I like Thanksgiving the most. It's because literally everybody's together and nothing. This doesn't sound bad, but I feel like Christmas is a hidden agenda of oh, I want my presents. You know what I mean? Where Thanksgiving's oh, I just want to see my family.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's probably the best thing about Thanksgiving is number one, there's really zero expectations of Thanksgiving other than if you're the person hosting, you're kind of worried about making sure the turkey's fine. But other than that, Christmas is great. Yeah. But I do the same thing every year. I tell everybody in my family, I'm I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I just don't really want to do gifts. I don't need anything. I know you don't need anything. Even if I do get you something, you probably aren't going to like it. You're just going to have to return it. Let's just hang out and enjoy Christmas and we'll all buy our own shit.
There was one year I bought presents for literally everybody in my family. I'm one, all the items I got them, they were I think $30 each is what I did, but I ended up spending $1,000, and I'm well, yeah, that's cool and all, but it's not it was a good gift, and I know it's oh, it's all the thought that counts, but at the end of the day, they're not gonna remember this stuffed animal I got them 6 years ago. You know what I mean? They're gonna remember the time we had together. So
I'm team Thanksgiving, zero expectations, and also everybody gets the day off from work. Everybody's pretty busy, man. I know you're busy, I'm busy, you know what I mean? It's kind of the one day where you're just I really just don't have to do anything today. I'm just gonna sit here and watch football.
I work that day.
You work on Thanksgiving?
I work on Thanksgiving, the Friday after, and the Saturday after.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, my family's leaving me. They're going away for the whole week, and I'm gonna be here working alone.
Cut that last part I said from the episode.
Yeah. Adam, screw you. You have to work. No, but that's okay. Yeah, it's okay. I'm crying on the inside, but it's okay. I'll survive.
You know what, dude? We can. You wanna jump on you wanna do an episode? You can come to my house.
Yeah, I'll be a virtual person at your family.
Yeah, virtual Adam.
Yeah,
come
just
on
carry
over.
me around. Yeah, I'll have my own little turkey dinner, and then but it's a little disappointing, but I'm okay with it. I'll have some fun. I'll go Black Friday shopping on my own.
Okay.
Yeah, but what have you been playing, Dave? Oh, before we do, wait, we're talking about Thanksgiving and things like that, and you sent me an image
I did.
cut and keep the best Thanksgiving dishes. I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably gonna make some people a little upset with some of these choices. So let me go ahead and
You're
pull up the image.
gonna make so many people mad. That's 100% why I wanted to do this.
Yeah, yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, this is cut and keep of Thanksgiving dishes. Adam is going to ruin Thanksgiving dinner.
yeah. So what we have on the list here, top left, we have turkey. Is that mashed potatoes in the middle?
Mashed potatoes, yep.
Is that green bean casserole?
That is stuffing, actually.
Oh, that's weird looking. That's all right.
Weird looking stuffing. Is it the
yeah.
greens? It's
Yeah, I
probably
think it's the greens. I think it is the greens.
Okay.
And then cranberry sauce,
Cranberry sauce, yep.
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts, yep.
What's this one to the right
That
here?
is your green bean casserole right there.
Okay, and this is sweet potato casserole.
Sweet potato casserole with the marshmallows on top, of course.
Okay, and then we have rolls.
Classic dinner roll. Can't
Yep.
go wrong there.
Mm-hmm. And then pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie to finish it off.
All right, am I keeping 5 or cutting 5?
You are cutting 5. Let's make a lot of people angry today.
Oh, this is honestly the easiest one we've done.
Seriously?
Yeah, and everybody's like, "Oh, you have the plainest taste ever." But all right, so I gotta cut one first. Start off right off the bat, right?
Yep.
Easiest cut of the night in all of our episodes. My first cut is gonna be Brussels sprouts.
Oof, right there with you. Trash.
Yeah.
Hot trash. That is a plate of hot trash, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know why that's even a vegetable.
I don't understand. They smell like pee.
Yeah,
Like I'm sorry. Brussels sprouts smell like pee.
yeah, and asparagus.
Yeah, disgusting.
Gross.
Ugh.
All right, my first keep. I feel like I have to do it. You gotta keep the turkey. I love turkey.
Yeah, vegetarians, I'm sorry, but like no meat, no meal. Like
Yeah.
you if I go to Thanksgiving and there's no turkey, I'm a little-
Especially if it's deep fried. Have you ever deep fried turkey?
deep fried turkey's good.
Oh my gosh, when it's cooked perfect, it's like the bad thing about most turkeys, if you like bake it, it kind of dries out. But
Yeah.
for whatever reason, if you deep fry it perfectly, very good.
It's because that skin gets like
Mhm.
crispy, like
Yeah.
super quick when you fry it, so all the
Yeah.
juice just kind of stays inside.
Yeah,
Have you
yeah.
ever been to somebody's house who had the turkey substitute,
No,
like something strange?
like ham.
Yeah, like you go to their house and you're
Oh.
like expecting turkey, and then they're like, "We did ham instead," and you're like, "Okay, well I appreciate it, but also like, what the hell?"
We do turkey and ham. At my
Oh, yeah, I
Thanksgiving.
forgot you
We
guys
talked about
dou-
this last year. We double
Forgot
dip.
you guys double.
And then we do
dip.
meatballs at my Bailey's families. We do some random things.
I'm so hungry right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. We shouldn't be doing this. We
Nope.
should have done this at the end of the episode, Dave.
Yup.
Okay, my first keep here or cut. My next cut. So my second cut. Shoot. Like they're easy cuts, but I want to do it in a specific order where I don't make people mad. So let's go with my next cut, and that's gonna be the sweet potato casserole.
Right there with you.
I've
I'm not
never
a
had
fan.
it. I've never even heard of it until last year. I just don't like sweet potatoes, to be honest, in general. So
It's a very confusing dish to me.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm like, is this supposed to be part of the meal or is this dessert?
yeah,
You know,
I have no
it's,
idea.
It's almost pie consistency. The marshmallows on top, like the sweet potatoes themselves are very sweet. So when
Yeah.
I'm eating it, I'm like, why do I have dessert on my plate with my
Yeah.
turkey dinner? It's just very confusing to my brain.
I think part of it is like there's a sweet potato pie too.
Yeah.
So like, is it just a way to say, oh, I want 2 slices of pie, but calling one a casserole rather than a pie? Maybe
If
we
it's
just
a
broke the code.
Yeah, we just broke the cheat code here. If it's
Yeah.
a casserole, it's not dessert, and thus you can have
Yeah.
as much as you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, my next keep, I'm going to go with stuffing. I love stuffing. It is so good.
This is our first differ.
You don't like stuffing?
Ugh.
I mean, I could understand. My favorite part of Thanksgiving is actually the leftovers when you combine the stuffing, the turkey, and the gravy, and you bake it into a dish. Oh, it's so good.
See, I do that with the mashed potatoes and the green beans.
Oh, you a vegetable mashed potato combiner?
I am.
Oh, you're weird.
Why is that weird?
I don't know. I used to with corn, but now I can't combine anything except for gravy and mashed potatoes. I can't combine anything.
You mix the corn into the mashed potatoes.
No, can't do it.
That's fantastic.
Can't do it.
The
Can't do
corn
it.
is hard to eat, so the mashed potatoes works as like a little paste that kind of holds it all together on your fork.
I gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's more
Yeah.
convenience than anything.
Okay. Are you more of are you a mashed potato guy or a whipped potato guy?
I'm gonna go mashed. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like once they get too kind of
Yeah.
liquidy,
Yeah.
it just doesn't feel right.
Right. I agree.
And
I
I'm
agree.
a skins guy too. You can leave the
Yeah.
skins on. Yeah,
I
that's
like
fine.
the skins.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, I just did my next keep, so my next cut here, I'm going green bean casserole.
Dagger in the heart.
I hate it's onions. I can't do onions. Onions are so gross to me. They smell weird. They taste weird. They have a crazy consistency. I hate onions.
But they're crispy onions.
Yeah, I don't like it. It's gross. What's the
Oof.
and the like? What's the like the not the sauce, but like the
Cream of mushroom.
yeah. Ooh, sorry, I just made a puke noise on the episode. Mushroom is a no go for me too. I can't do anything mushroom.
A cream of mushroom soup doesn't
Yeah, I know.
really taste mushroomy.
Yeah, but just the idea of fungus in my food.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a little extreme, but okay.
No, mushroom is a fungus. I'm not eating fungus. I can't do it.
It's a good fungus.
No, okay. Okay, Dave.
I mean, cheese is mold. Do you still like cheese?
Is it though?
It is.
Specific cheese is mold.
I think cheese is as much mold as mushrooms are as much fungus.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
mushroom looks like a fungus.
A cheese looks like mold.
No, yeah, if you go like blue cheese.
I'm just
I don't like
saying.
blue cheese.
You ever seen like an action? I'm not talking about like those like processed slices of
Oh,
cheese.
that's only cheese I eat.
That's it?
Yeah,
Oh, that's basically like plastic.
I'm okay with that.
Do you know Velveeta is like 2 compounds away from being plastic?
Clog my arteries. I'm okay with it.
Anyways, huge standard. Huge
Yeah.
standard. Yeah, it's okay. That's all right.
All right, so I got my next keep.
Yes.
Let's see. I've kept turkey, kept stuffing. Oh, I'm on my next keep. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna keep the rolls.
It's a solid choice. You
yeah,
can't go wrong
you can't
there.
go, especially when it's the Hawaiian rolls. Oh my gosh, those are so good. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, Hawaiian rolls are great.
Hawaiian rolls are the best part of Thanksgiving sometimes.
Shout out Texas Roadhouse. Those are the best rolls ever.
Is it the rolls or is it the butter?
I think it's a combination both.
Yeah, I think you have to have both.
The butter's fantastic, but I've taken like some, like I've ordered out and had the butter, like an extra butter, and I tried putting it on other things, and it just doesn't hit right.
Doesn't work. Doesn't
Yeah.
work. That's like when I like get Chick-fil-A, or like I buy a bunch of Chick-fil-A and I have extra barbecue sauce,
Yeah,
and then I try eating different chicken. It makes all the chicken taste like Chick-fil-A chicken.
does it
You know what I'm talking
really?
about? Yeah, like the barbecue sauce is so overpowering. Like it's like, oh, this tastes like a chicken strip from Chick-fil-A, but it's from like Sonic. Just-
Adam's just getting a 20-pack McNugget. And he's like,
Fun fact about me: I haven't had McDonald's in like 12 years.
I haven't had McDonald's in like a decade either.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gross. Okay. Next cut. I'm cutting cranberry sauce.
I'm fine with it.
Do people actually have that at like Thanksgiving? People just eat cranberry sauce?
Yeah, but you know what a lot of people have, which the cranberry sauce that comes from a can.
Hmm.
You ever seen that one?
No.
It's really kind of funny because the way that they form it, it must be a liquid when they put it in the can and then they let it like cool, because when you take it out of the can, it's like a Jello kind of mold. It still looks like a can,
Interesting.
which is really
Ew.
weird.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's probably a good cut. It's probably a good cut now that I think about it.
Yeah. So my next keep,
Next
or
keep.
my last keep.
Last keep. Yep.
Ooh, dang! This is where I'm gonna make some people mad.
Are you gonna do it?
I'm totally doing it. My last keep is mashed potatoes.
And
Peace
you're-
out, pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie sucks.
Okay,
I'm
let's
so glad that you cut that.
It's just I don't know. I like other pumpkin flavored things, but pumpkin pie is the least favorite. The consistency is weird. I don't know. I just don't like pie in general, like any pie. But pumpkin pie is at the bottom of the list of pies.
I'm gonna be a little graphic here, but pumpkin pie looks like baby dookie. Like it's so gross. It
Yeah.
smells gross. It stains everything. It doesn't taste good.
You gotta add the Cool Whip.
The what?
The Cool Whip.
Why do you keep saying whip?
Have you ever seen that Family Guy episode?
Yeah, no, I have. That's what he says in the episode.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Why do you keep saying whip?
Why do you keep saying whip?
I'm saying, yeah, I haven't seen it in forever. I don't know all the lines to it, but all right, let us know in comments which Thanksgiving dishes are you cutting and keeping. I'm sorry if I made you mad, but turkey all the way.
He's not sorry. That was
that
your
good?
turkey gobble.
What's yours, Dave? What?
This is- okay, that was better. I'm not topping. I'm not topping. I'm not topping that.
I'm done.
There's no way I'm topping that.
All right, but Dave, what have you been playing? What have you been up to this week? Let's get into the real meat and potatoes because that's the best part of Thanksgiving. It's the best part of this episode.
Let's get into it. Not really playing that much. I moved on to Arkham City, as you guys know. I've been jamming out on that. I actually beat that. So I've been kind of cruising through these Arkham games.
Let's go.
I think I might actually go on to Origins instead of Night. Which
Origins is after City.
Yeah,
Night's the last one.
Knight's the last one, but do you remember the way that they did it? Where
it was like a prequel or whatever.
No, like Rocksteady had the rights. Rocksteady did Asylum, City, and Night, but the Origins in between, like a different development team did that one. So when I got the remastered like set, Origins wasn't in there. So I do have it. So I think I might go play that one. So I'm like actually playing them in order. Yeah, I totally forgot that like Rocksteady didn't do Origins.
And that's why Origins was the worst one of all of them.
Yes, it was clearly the worst one.
Yeah, I beat that and I took it back. Or yeah, I beat it and took it back that night. I was so like I'm over it.
Did you?
Yeah.
I might play it just to play it.
Yeah,
just
I will
stay
say
in
like
order.
the supporting cast of that game was really cool. Like Deadshot, like that was fun. Deathstroke was in it. I feel like the cast of it, but just the overall gameplay and the story of it wasn't very good.
So I might go ahead and play that, but I do want to bring up one thing. Last week's episode, we did our little discussion on the state of gaming. I actually got like a lot of messages from people saying that like they really enjoyed that episode, and even so much as like friend of the podcast Storm Shield 1982 on Twitch. He reached out to me and he was like, I just want to read this real quick because it's like people were like excited that we kind of talked about it. It's like, so, you know, things that people were thinking in their heads and no one was really talking about. But he wrote me this message and he said, hey, I was listening to your podcast and I have a few things that I'd like to add that you maybe want to go over in the future if you're talking about physical versus digital and not owning the games. One thing that did happen to me recently, and I don't know if you have a PS Plus account or not, but they updated their catalog and took a bunch of games off of PlayStation Plus. So all these games that I had played or needed to finish and wanted to go back and play now are all locked. And I spent all that money on the PS Plus Game Pass, and now I don't have these games anymore that I can play unless I rebuy them for full price, which is really crazy. Isn't that nuts? He's like, a few weeks back, I went to go play Alien Isolation because I needed to finish it, and it was locked. And then I went through my catalog, and a ton of the games that I downloaded were all locked as well. I was so confused, so I called PlayStation, and they were like, oh, yeah, those are PS Plus games that were removed from the catalog. Sorry. And I was like, are you kidding me? I spent so much money on it, and they're just like, oh, well.
That's the problem with these subscription games, too, especially Game Pass and PlayStation Plus, is like, in the old PlayStation Plus, it was, oh, you got the game for free, and like no matter what, you always had it. So, but now the new model of it is you have PlayStation Plus, but it's like a Netflix. They can take the movie out and put something else back in, and that's the same thing that's what's happening with Game Pass and stuff like that now. And it sucks because at the same time, though, it's the subscription base, so you are paying the subscription base. So that's just the new model of it, and they're not doing it the way they used to, but. And like you said, this is the argument we have to start buying our games, more so physical. But if you really want to own the game, or not even, if you don't want to buy physical, just making sure to buy the game if you want the game.
I thought it was really interesting that, you know, we had somebody reach out and it's like, yeah, it's, you know, everything that we were talking about is already kind of happening in the shadows very slowly. So just be on the lookout, guys. It's going to start with PS Plus and Game Pass, and then it's going to keep going to your Steam accounts and all that good stuff. So. Very, very interesting. That's all I got. What about you? What's going on with your week?
I've done a lot of stuff this week, Dave.
What you got?
I'm going to ramble through a bunch of real things that I did. Okay, I don't know if I talked about it last episode, but I fell. I felt
I,
good.
I was gonna bring it up last episode. It
Yeah.
looks like Adam was just like Adam is now a member of an exclusive club that
Yeah.
the first rule of is he is not allowed to talk about
Yeah.
it.
It's called the Concrete Flight Club. I was riding my mountain bike, and okay. The worst part about this is I was jumping the jumps right, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the corner slow. I'm gonna like hold my brakes a little bit, and then like by the time I got to the corner, I was like, okay, this is a perfect speed. I get to kind of relax a little bit. No, I was so slow that I went to turn, my tires slipped from under me, and I will go over the handlebars. I land on the ground, so I cut my hand on the concrete, have a bruise like the size of like not a golf ball, softball on my hip, on my elbow, but we're getting better. I'm getting more mobile now. So,
Did you scorpion?
no, I didn't scorpion.
That's good.
Yeah, but it was funny because like I got a bruise on my elbow because I landed on my hip. Like my hip landed on my elbow, which landed on the concrete. So like it was like a sandwich of like hip elbow concrete sandwich. Yeah, it hurt.
Did you hit your shin on anything?
I did hit my shin on my pedal. That was
That's
okay. I
the
actually didn't feel that.
worst.
I didn't feel that. I got a scrape on my shoulder. I didn't feel the shin until like I saw the blood down my leg. To be honest.
I think I have really weak shins.
Yeah.
Like if I get hit, like I can't. I don't want to like pat myself on the back, but I'm pretty good with like pain tolerance.
Yeah.
If I get hit on the shin, my day's over. Like that's
Yeah.
my day is over if
And
my shin gets racked, and I don't know why.
I think that's a lot of people, to be honest. Like, have you seen those videos that people like inflict pain to their shin on purpose for like content and views?
No, there's no. I could never even watch it.
Oh, it was awful. Like that, this
It's-
guy just like smacks his ankles with like his shins with scooters.
Ugh.
Yeah, worst pain ever. Other than that, game wise, I completed 2 games in 1 week.
Dang.
Star Wars Outlaws, Dunzo,
Yes.
and Hellblade.
And final review on Hellblade.
It is really cool. It is really cool. I will say my only complaint about it was the combat was pretty repetitive, if that makes sense. But I think I was okay with it because the story was so driven and so good, to be honest, and like had me like thinking the whole time like what was happening, like really trying to follow along. And I think that's why I really liked it, is because of the story, like narrative, like drove that game so well.
Yeah, and I like you said, the combat is really repetitive. But I think the gameplay experience itself is so short that it's kind of okay. Like you kind of get on that edge of it, like being like, okay, this is repetitive, but it doesn't drag out long enough for you to like dislike the game because of it.
Exactly. And my thought with that was the animations were always like the whole time they're brutal. And so like it's the same animation, but just blood splattering everywhere and people's heads getting chopped off. I'm like, this is cool. And then like the final scene, without spoiling anything, like that final like battle was so cool.
Yeah, and like walking up to it down the dock and everything like that.
That was really cool.
That just reminds me of like the most badass like action movie where you're just like you're just literally walking down and just all these people are coming at you and you have that one goal in mind and you're just like throwing them off, like walking dead stare straight forward, slashing people as you're walking past. Like nothing will stop me. You know what I mean?
Like 300 status.
Yeah, so sick. It was such
really
a good
cool.
ending.
Next game I'm playing, obviously I'm working on God of War right now, so that's my story narrative game that I'm working on. But by the time this episode is released, I'm gonna be at least 20 hours in of Microsoft Flight Simulator
Let's go.
after my son goes to bed. But anyway, that's all I got.
Because Adam bought a new
Flight stick.
No, graphics card.
Oh yeah, I forgot. It doesn't like it definitely made a huge impact on like gaming and like stream wise.
Yeah.
Even though it's still a little choppy, I just have to go for the higher one, I guess.
Adam sends me a message and we talk pretty much every day, but he hadn't sent me a message in a couple hours. And the only message that I got was just, I can't play Flight Simulator, sad face. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah, I was super sad. And the funny thing is because the requirements to play the recommended like hardware is a 2080 and my computer is only a 2070. So I was like, Well, crap. But I thought it was the minimum requirement. So I went out and bought a 4070 Super, and now it's my computer's running a lot smoother and much more fast. But yeah, I didn't need that. I could have got away with my 2070. But
Now you got it, and you're
yeah.
future proof.
Yeah, well for now, until the 6090 comes out.
I feel like we're kind of a ways off where the
Yeah,
minimum requirements would be better than a 470.
Yeah, I agree. But all right, let's get into our first topic of the night, Dave. Arc Raiders. Yeah, okay. So with this game, I was excited about it when it first was announced. So Arc Raiders, if anybody doesn't know, it is it's made by Embark Studios. It's coming out in early 2025. It's the team that's behind the finals, which is a pretty decent game. Really took the FPS by storm for a good amount of time. Is one of those FPS. This is gonna kill Call of Duty, gonna kill different games. Game. It obviously didn't, but it did have a good following for a good time. They're still releasing a lot of content for it. Visually, that game is really good. Like the visuals of that game, the destruction of the world is really good. Um, and they are trying their hand at a third-person PvP VE adventure extraction shooter, which is different from the original focus of this game, the original direction of this game.
I saw that they kind of switched courses here, but I couldn't really find out why.
I think I think they're trying to ride the wave of extraction shooters because originally it was supposed to be a loot and shoot game. And I wonder, so they've had tons of playtests. This game has been in development, I think, for 7 years, is what I read or what I heard. So I think at least 7 years, and they've done tons of playtests and all this. So I wonder if just the feedback of the loot and shoot just wasn't going as planned and they weren't like getting it right. And so they like kind of shifted gears, took a lot of the feedback in, I'm guessing, and went to a more popular like game type right now, I guess. Like extraction shooters are big. Well, so are loot and shoots, and it was also free to play. And I think I actually am on board with them switching to a more premium model, like the paid, like you're getting the game, like it's not a free to play, if that makes sense. I'm okay with that.
I'm 100% okay with that. I'm kind of like ready to just ditch free to plays altogether. Like I mean, I get it. It's good to have free to plays because they're like we say all the time, like gaming is expensive, and it's cool that there's games out there that you actually don't need to pay for if you don't want to. You'd never have to spend $1 in them. But I just I don't know. Like for me personally, I'm just kind of done with free to plays.
I agree. And it's one of those things that I think with the way the direction of the game was going, the original trailers, they weren't all that like they look cool, but they weren't like a game that I felt like I'm going to jump in and really dive into this game because it's free to play. I just felt like it was lacking a lot even from those original trailers. But let me go ahead and pull up this new gameplay trailer as we're talking about it. And I just think that the visualization of the game, the way the elements look, I think this game is in a much better place than they would have been with a loot and shoot. If that makes sense.
I also agree it's in a much better place. I think like the only thing. All right, great. This is great that you got this trailer because this is what I watched too. So if you guys are just listening, we have like a 6-minute kind of in-depth gameplay trailer.
Yeah. Yep.
And I will say that like I do really like the concept of this. So guys, if you don't know anything about the game, really fast, you're basically living in like a post-apocalyptic underground civilization.
Yep.
And your whole thing of being an arc raider is you need to go to the surface and collect resources, right? That's like the extraction part of the game, which I think is a really interesting idea. Like it definitely gives me kind of like Fallout vibes and stuff like that. But the further and further I got into watching this trailer, I don't know, dude, I just kind of got bored.
I think it's one of those games that they want you to play it slower. They want you to play it like Escape from Tarkov. They want it to feel like that kind of game,
Right.
but more of a friendly introduction to those type of games because Escape from Tarkov is very hardcore, very slow paced, and things like that. Whereas this game, I think, is to allow more of an audience to get in without having it not be so unforgiving. Like if you mess up an arc or escape from Tarkov, like you're screwed. Like you get shot twice, you're dead. Whereas this game, you'll see some of the combat in here a couple minutes. Like you have a chance to save yourself and make like respond to seeing an enemy before you're dead. If that makes sense. I think that's why this game. That's their idea of going for it. And to me, I think visually the game looks fun.
Visually, it looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, visually, I think it looks really, really cool. Not the hugest fan of the setting. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna be honest here. I'm not a hugest fan of this setting,
Yeah.
specifically in games like this PvPvE, where
Yeah.
you really need to kind of be able to decipher where a threat is coming from. I think a setting like this, where everything is very monotone and this like yellow kind of sandy color, makes that a little bit more challenging. So I'm not
Yeah.
a fan of that really. But aside from that, I mean, it does look visually really good. I just
I think they're going for this kind of monotone, like different shading, different areas. One, to make it harder for like if you're playing solo, you can like hide in these shadows a little bit more. Use the environment to like get yourself around. Because, like I said, you can play either solo or duo or in a full group. But if you're playing solo, you're gonna want to have these shadows and things like that.
I think it works both ways though.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing solo, like it's good to have these shadows and stuff
Yeah.
like that so you can hide, but like also in the same turn when it's this monotone
Yeah.
and this flattened out,
Yeah.
it's like, you know, because the worst thing that happens in games like this for me is like I'm just kind of doing my thing, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden I get like pop double sniped, and you're like,
Yeah.
damn it, you know, like where did that come from? And I think it lends way to allow campers to just kind of like be super sweaty.
And I'm glad you brought that up because my biggest thing with extraction shooters, there are griefers in these games that just hide out at the extraction or the extraction and that don't do any of the work, and they just wait for people to show up to the extraction and kill them, steal their stuff, and extract. Like
Right.
I don't think there's ever going to be a way that these games can fix that, unfortunately, because of there's no way to do it, except they do have multiple extraction locations, so that helps a bit. But if you have 3 groups camping 3 of the 4 extractions, like you're gonna have to get in a firefight, and if you're a solo, like it's game over. Like 3 versus 1, it's not gonna happen.
I almost think it's like, I don't know. I think this kind of defeats the purpose of the game, but I do think it probably makes it a better game. Like I think certain items, like campaign objective items,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be able to snag on a drop.
Yeah.
Like, and like I understand it kind of defeats the purpose of like, you know, oh, you're gonna have to get into a firefight and stuff like that. But like, I don't know. I think I would almost rather have that and eliminate this like sweaty griefing.
Yeah, I would
You know?
agree. And I think where I think this game could have expanded on, yes, it was going to be originally to be a PvE game, right? Well, I think that they could have like PvE solo. I think that this game could have done better and fallen in suit kind of how the Division did it, where they have different areas where like there's a PvP area, PvPvE area,
Right.
and then there's also a PvE area. Like I think that could have helped expand it and made it more appealing to more people. And yes, with the PvP and the Division, you had more of a chance with better loot, which I agree. If reward players that are working harder in like a PvP setting, but to like get your foot like in the step into the ground running a little bit, like having that PvE option, it helps the player build confidence and understand the game. But if you're just going in there and getting destroyed, like you're gonna lose interest because you're dying so much.
Yeah, and I think not having that option kind of loses a player base, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not gonna lie. Like when you brought this game up, and you know Adam loves these types of games, and he brings these games up. You know, it's just like every time I put a Souls-like in front of him, he's like, oh, fucking another Souls-like, damn it. You know what I mean? So like when I was looking at this game, I was like, another online shooter.
Yeah.
And I was looking at it, and I was like, this game actually looks really fun. Like
Yeah.
this would be a game that I'm interested in, but I would love to turn the PvP off because I'm just not about that life. Like if I'm online, I want it to be like an online co-op where I'm playing with people that like I want to be in the game with and we're working together. I just don't want to deal with random people trying to kill me when I'm playing games. I just don't want to deal with it. And like I don't know, it kind of turns me off that I can't turn that off.
I know that there are games that you can do that still. You know what I mean? Like the very successful Helldivers, Suicide Squad, not successful, but like that was PvE. So there's games out there that are PvE, but I was intrigued of this game when it was the PvE because I thought the mechanics of the game looked really cool when I first saw it. I think the mechanics and the gameplay of the game looks even better now. Like I liked how they kind of brought it to like down to earth, like not so much crazy jumps and things like that. Like I like that's a little bit more grounded. But like we've been talking about, the PvP kind of, and I'm a PvP player. Like I like PvP, like games, like first person shooters, all that. But when it comes to games like this, like I want to get the loot and like not have to worry about dying to griefers and sweaty people. But I don't know. It's one of those, all the Tarkov players and players that play these extraction shooters are gonna say just get good.
Yeah, just get good.
If I had the time to do, I would love to. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna get this game. I'm gonna give it a fair shot. I'm gonna put some hours into it because I think it looks cool. I'm not super excited about the like the setting and the lore, to be honest. I liked how the finals went, how it played. They brought in a lot of experience from Dice, which made Battlefront or Battlefield, like those games. A couple like did some things with Madden, and like so the things that make the games look great. I think that they're doing a great job with this, and which is why I'm most intrigued. But the setting of the arc reminds me of Horizon. The the slow downness is kind of Escape from Tarkov. The movement is kind of Division. I think they're combining games, but they're doing it in a good way. It's like, don't get me wrong, but the extraction shooter part is where it doesn't have me fully invested.
You ready for me to drop a bomb?
Yeah.
I'm getting this game.
Are you really?
And we're playing together.
No, you're not.
I swear, we're getting this game.
Okay.
I don't love the PvP section of it, but like
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I think the lore of it, I actually do love. I do love that story. Post-apocalyptic, you're living under the city. You got to go up above the surface to get the resources that you need. Like if you look through that trailer, where they were talking about needing to go find like needed to go to the pharmacy because you need medication, like you need building resources. Like I love that idea. I think it's such a fun idea. And when it comes to an extraction shooter, I think it's like a really good idea because it actually feels like something that you would need to go into danger for. Like a lot of these extraction shooters, you're just like, I don't know, it's fake money or like armor plate, you know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like this feels like they figured out a storyline that would actually make sense and force you to go into danger because you need these things. It's almost like a survival game. They almost took like a survival aspect and put it into an extraction shooter.
Okay, well, I'm glad. I'm glad you're gonna get this one because I was hoping, I'm like, who am I gonna play this with? But
I'm
now I
playing it
got
with
somebody.
you. Yeah.
I was gonna play this solo, sneak around every time and just try not to get killed. But now we can take people on, Dave.
I mean, I'm not going to be very good, but
That's okay.
I'll be there with you.
Yeah. Some little gameplay notes here. I just have a few. I thought this is a really cool aspect. One, so when you get down, like you're not just straight dead. Like Escape from Tarkov, you get shot, you're dead. Where this is like your team has the ability to revive you, things like that. But in that regard, so yes, you have the option to revive your player, like your team. You also have like you shoot a flare when you get down. So the arcs are gonna come at you, and other players are gonna come at you. So that's an element like that's gonna bring chaos and like real tension to the moment of like I gotta save my friend before Jim Bob the player comes and shoots me down, or the big arc spire comes at me. Like that's cool. Like I think that's a really cool element. The different objectives are they're not so like go grab this. It's like go find, like they tell you where to go and you have to find stuff to kind of move that along, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? It's not just like go find this pencil that has superhero or super healing. Like, you know what I mean? It's like go to the pharmacy and see what materials that will help and things like that. I think that's pretty neat. Um, and you know me, I love stealth, so I like the ability that you don't have to like go in there guns blazing. You can pick your way of going in, and with that, there's a skill tree that you can kind of tailor the way you play it, and that's kind of very similar to the Division, where you have different like not suits, loadouts, like different loadouts that you can tailor how you play, and I think that's really cool. Yeah, I'm just excited to see how this is. There's gonna be maps that are night mode and different settings in terms of what. I don't think there's. I didn't see anything about weather, but different settings of like light, dark, things like that. So
We're going out only at night.
only at night.
We are the Night Riders.
Night Raiders.
Night Raiders.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Boom.
Lock it up. Lock
The
it
nerdy
up.
Raiders. The nerdy Night Raiders.
Nerdy Night Raiders.
That's
Let's
awesome.
go.
But again, I'm really cool. I'm really excited with this one. I know it's kind of a 50-50 split. There's a lot of people like, oh, I wanted this to be PvE only. Some are just like, wow, this is a much better direction that they were going. For me, I do wish that there was some optional PvP rather than the whole world is that way. But I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna pay for this one. Comes out in 2025, and yeah, I'm curious to see if you've played the playtest. Let us know what your thoughts are. If it's something that is going to be good, or they have a lot of things that they need to work on, let us know. So
Let us know in the comments below. Arc Raiders will be coming out sometime in 2025, and I will actually be playing an extraction shooter.
let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, Adam. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So, in what are we calling this?
Loot and shoot.
Loot,
Blind
this is
rank.
Blind rank of loot and shoots.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this isn't a loot and shoot, but we're gonna do blind ranks of loot and shoots anyway.
What? I gave you a list.
Yeah.
Oh. This game's not a loot and shoot.
Yeah. This game isn't a loot and shoot, but we're gonna do blind rank of loot and
Yeah,
shoot.
I mean, because the
anyway.
original plan was a loot and shoot.
Okay, yeah, the
Yeah.
original idea for this game was a loot and shoot. So we decided that we would need to do a blind rank of the best loot and shoot games of all time. Adam, are you ready?
I am ready. I'm
All
curious
right.
to see which ones you picked.
First up on your list, we're going to go Destiny.
Oh, shoot.
Oh boy.
I was hoping you wouldn't pick this one.
Oh boy.
To be honest, I was like, oh, we'll be safe. Dave's not going to pick Destiny. So, shoot. I'm going to put Destiny at 5.
Are you doing it? Putting it at a 5, huh? How come?
I just
love
never got
Destiny.
into it. I know. I'm going to make some people mad. Destiny is a great game. And I'm not going to say that it isn't, but I just didn't get into it as much.
People are angry already.
Yeah, I know. I'm
They've
sorry.
They just swiped off the short.
Yeah.
Short over.
Unsubscribe.
Okay. Next up on the list, we're gonna go with a little Rock and Stone Deep Rock Galactic.
Yeah, Rock and Stone, Deep Rock Galactic. It's kind of a weird. It's not quite a loot and shoot. We have to gather resources and things like that. And you shoot stuff. You gather, so you're looting and you're shooting.
It's quirky.
Yeah, I love it. I'm putting it at 3.
Putting it at 3.
Yeah, safe bet.
Safe bet.
Yeah,
All right. Next
Rock
up
and
on the
Stone.
list, Gunfire Reborn.
4. It was
That-
all right.
That sounds like it would have been a 5 if the spot was available.
Yeah, I think so. Gunfire Reborn. It was a roguelite, like loot and shoot. It was cool. I didn't put a ton of hours into it, but just not better than 2 others I hope you gave me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next up on the list, we have Borderlands 3.
Ooh, Borderlands. The problem is, and you know what? I think I know what you did here, expecting me to do certain things. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put Borderlands 3 at 1.
Doing it at 1?
Yep. Don't you screw me, Dave.
All right.
It's such a fun game. The amount of weapons that you pick up in that game is insane.
Adam knows me all too well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really need to switch up my style here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Adam's number 2 game is Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm
I
okay
get
with
it.
it, to be honest.
You're okay with it?
I'd flick Deep Rock Galactic and Suicide Squad.
You'd flip them?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stick to my guns and say, like, yes, Suicide Squad got a lot of hate, wasn't the best game. I had fun with it. I put tons and tons of hours into that game, and I enjoyed the time I put into it. But yeah, am I glad I quit playing that? Yes.
Adam sent me a list of games that he wanted me to put on the list, and he put on there Division, and then he put like a little sub bar that was like Division 1, Division 2.
Yeah.
Division is obviously Adam's favorite game, and I did not give him his favorite
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Division 2 is so good. So.
He knows me all too well. that
Yeah, I
I've not
knew
given
that's
him
what
his
you were gonna
favorite
do. I was
game.
thinking, I was like, oh, is he gonna be nice and set me up to have Division as number one? And then I was like, there's no way, But Borderlands 3 at number one, I like it.
It's
I
a good
like
pick
it.
at number 1.
Let us know in the comments how you'd blind rank those loot and shoot games and what's your favorite loot and shoot. And now we're moving on to Dave's most exciting game of the year, Bad Cheese.
Bad Cheese game of the year. I'm calling it right now.
Dave, go ahead and start talking about it a little bit. I need to download the trailer because I downloaded the wrong game. Yeah, let's do that real quick.
Okay, Bad Cheese. If you guys don't know anything about this, I'm not holding it against you because I don't think a lot of people know about this game. But this is a game by developer Simon Lukasic, a single developer, published by Feardemic, and essentially what we're going to be looking at is a psychological horror game in which you are a mouse. Spending the weekend at home with a dysfunctional dad. And the thing about this game is 2 things. The graphics for the game are supposed to be inspired by 1920s animation, which you know I love. And if you look at the game, the mouse's hands are very have a striking resemblance to a very famous mouse that is since entered public domain.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, Steamboat
Okay.
Willie.
Okay, so Steamboat Willie, if you guys don't know, is the inspiration for Mickey Mouse, has since entered the public domain, and it feels like a lot of people are just trying to do anything that they possibly can with this. But if you guys are just listening, I do implore you to maybe take a look at the trailer because I think the animation style is actually kind of cool.
It's very like spot on to the 1920s. Like,
Yes.
Oy.
Very spot on, but it's also like to have this type of animation style in a horror game just feels odd.
Yeah.
It's like it's oddly unsettling.
Yeah.
Is that what you feel when you watch this?
Yeah, I think so. Again, like it's hard for me to like get scared of these kinds of games. I know what the game's trying to do, but I don't know. I think I'd have to have my hands on instead of just watching a trailer, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know. It's almost like it's hard to explain. Like I feel like the foreground, like your character, the way that they drew it, and like certain characters in the game. Like if you guys are watching the trailer, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Like your character and specific characters are very punchy. I'm trying
Yeah.
to think of a better way to say it. Like
Yeah.
very upfront in the foreground, and then everything else just feels like kind of dark and like very bokeh out. Like very, I don't know. It's just a very interesting art style, and I wanted to bring it up because I think more games should try to do this art style. Like we saw this with Cuphead and a few other games, and I love the art style. For me though, I just wanted to kind of get your opinion. Like, do you think this is a game that could be scary?
With this kind of animation, I don't think it can.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at too.
And so I think what you're thinking of is like rubber bandy, like like a rubber band feel to it. I think maybe yes, it's psychological horror, but I wonder if it's more so like you said, the unsettlingness of it, not so much like it's very scary, but more of this game's just weird and creepy, and not so much like what's gonna scare me next. You know what I mean? Like I think it's more of the way the game's gonna progress, and like, whoa, that's weird looking. Not so much I'm terrified out of my mind.
Right. Like I think you're obviously gonna get your basic jump scares, but when I was watching the trailer, I just had this feeling of like, I don't know, I'm not scared. I'm just like kind of just feel off. Like I just feel off. Why? Like I'm not scared. I'm not like there's no like excitement or trauma or you know what I mean? I just feel strange just watching it.
It's something that I don't think you will know how you feel until you play the game. Like I think I don't know. This isn't my type of game. It's not really I don't know. I think it's almost like a parody game. You know what I mean? I think this game isn't supposed to be anything like too crazy in the sense of like gameplay, but I think it's maybe making fun of the fact that oh, we can just have a Mickey Mouse game without getting sued now.
I'm so confused. It's another reason I wanted to bring this up. I'm so confused at like when Steamboat Willie hits the public domain. Like, why does everybody's first thought go to let's make it scary?
I don't know. Yeah, that was with Winnie Pooh too.
Yeah. Like we saw that with the Steamboat Willie movie, like they did it with Winnie the Pooh. Like this game is obviously psychological horror. Like, is it just easy to take these characters? Like, is it easy to get like that kind of like shock value out of it because people are so used to seeing these characters and like loving kind of magical, kind of happy settings, and you're like do a full freaking 180, and it's like now they're psychopathic killers. So I mean, is it just like a shock value thing, or do you really feel like these characters fit into that mold of horror? Or I'm very confused at like how they're trying to use the character.
To be honest, Dave, I think there's two different ways they typically go.
Okay.
They go into that horror realm,
Right.
or they go in the other side of things that we probably shouldn't talk about on this show.
What?
The adult side of things.
The adult side of things?
Yeah.
There's a Steamboat Willie like
Oh,
adult.
I have no idea, but I'm sure it's out there. You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. Like what can we complete? Like you said, a complete 180, and I think it gets completely 180 in two different directions.
Steamboat Willie does Dallas.
Sure, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I don't think I want to know. Pure heart, Dave.
Yeah, he's Adam Spear. He doesn't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think it's very interesting. Now, it's a game that I kind of have on my radar. It's a game that's on my radar for price point, right? I think this would be a really fun stream game. Like, if we're talking like this game is like $10, you know, it could be a really fun stream game because I think people have a good time watching you play it and just kind of feel creeped out and stuff like that. But yeah, not too much to say on it. I just wanted to bring it to people's attention. I think it's a really cool animation style. I would love to see more of this animation style in games. But yeah. I don't know.
The other game that we had talked about in the past is Mouse. Remember that? Like Mouse, the PI for hire?
Yeah, that one was
Yeah.
cool when he had the machine gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think you're gonna see more Steamboat Willie stuff like this or like this kind of setting, and it looks cool. Don't get me wrong. It's just not my type of game.
I would love to just see more of this art style. This 1920. As you guys know, like I loved Cuphead. I think I don't know. I think this was like we talked about this a little bit when we talked about The Lion King. Like animation is sadly kind of dead. So I love that they're kind of bringing back this style. Like I would love for them to bring back this style in like movies. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, we talked about the live actions. That's whatever. And I love Pixar style movies. Like, those movies are great too. But I don't know. I just kind of miss this like vintage animation style. Anything that we could do for more vintage animation.
And it's
I'm
funny.
down-
I
I'm
actually
down
got
for it.
I got my son to watch Lion King today.
Like the real one.
Yeah, the real one.
Let's go.
He like did not move from his seat once, and was like actually laughing and enjoying it, and like was having a great time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See, you guys are missing out.
Yeah,
bring back,
I fell
bring back
asleep,
the
but
old
he
school
loved it.
animation.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
fell asleep for like an hour, and then I woke up, and he's still like glued to the screen, like sitting next to me.
Disney animation is the best babysitter you can have.
Exactly.
So, yeah. Check out the trailer if you guys want. Bad Cheese will drop sometime in 2025. The animation style looks very, very cool. The game, I don't know if you like getting creeped out.
Go for it.
You're ready to rock.
Rock and roll, rock and stone. But all right, let us know in the comments if this is a game you're excited about. And it was very quick. We talked about that one quick. There's not much on it, but this is going to be just a complete 180 to something else. And we're going to do a draft of the best Thanksgiving movies ever. Movies with some type of Thanksgiving scene ever.
Full disclosure, guys, we just need Thanksgiving content. So we're just this is where we're putting it in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for you guys listening to the actual episode is like, what the fuck is this all about? That's what we're doing. We just need
Yeah.
Thanksgiving content.
Yeah, there we go.
Like Adam said, this will be the draft of the best Thanksgiving movies ever, and the stipulations for this movie, since there isn't very many Thanksgiving movies, is there just has to be a Thanksgiving scene in it
Yeah.
at some point.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay,
Yep.
Adam, do you want your first pick? Or
Yeah, I
we
want
want to
mine.
flip the
Yeah.
coin. You want your first?
No, go for it. Go for it.
You want me to go first or flip the coin?
Yeah. Or flip the coin. Yeah.
All right, let's flip.
Yeah, flip the coin. Wait. Yeah. 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 Okay, I'm ready. Two-Face. Let's see.
It is Two-Face.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
My very first pick is actually a Thanksgiving movie.
A real Thanksgiving movie?
A real Thanksgiving movie.
Let's
and
do
that
it.
is a Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
Oh, that was on my list.
Yep. It has Thanksgiving in the title, so I'm taking it.
That's a great pick. There's two
Yeah.
things Charlie Brown that have stood the test of time, and one is the Thanksgiving special, and one is the Christmas special.
Yep. I
Yeah, they're
agree.
fantastic.
Mhm.
What a great pick.
Thank you.
I'm super salty right now.
You should be.
All right, number one on my list is going to be Adam Family Values.
Ooh, okay.
Do you love Adam's Family Values?
Never seen it.
Never seen Adam's
Nope,
Family
never seen it.
Values? Oh my God, you got to see it.
I will.
Raul Julia is so good as Gomez.
Okay.
The reason why this is a Thanksgiving movie is because they end up having to go to camp and they do like a Thanksgiving play in the camp, and there's just one character who's dressed as the turkey, and I won't do it justice, but his line is just, "I'm a turkey, eat me," and I laugh every time. It's so funny.
I don't know it. I don't know it, Dave. I'm sorry. I can't
Adam-
relate.
Adam doesn't relate. He's not.
can't relate.
He's
I'm too
not
young.
relating. He's not watching the movie.
Nope,
That's
not
a
gonna
blown.
watch it.
That's a blown first pick. All
That
right.
is a very blown first pick.
All right.
All right, my second pick here is Rocky.
That's a great movie.
Yeah,
Yeah, it deserves to be on the list.
thank you.
Mm.
I don't remember the scene. I just picked it because it's on the list. Yeah, I just picked it because it's on the list.
He goes, I just picked it because it's on a list. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I figured you might have taken it, so I had to make sure to grab it.
Nope. Nope. That was gonna be safe. Okay.
Oh,
Next
dang.
up on my list, I'm gonna go with Grumpy Old Men. I love that movie, and you get a little piece of everything. You get the Thanksgiving scenes, but you also get a little Christmas kind of scenes in there too. Love Grumpy Old Men. Have you seen Grumpy Old Men?
I have not.
You need to see Grumpy Old Men.
I probably won't.
That is not negotiable.
Okay. I
Okay.
will see it. I'll see it.
Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon at their
Yeah.
best.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just old. Everything that they say is old people are funny. They're old, but they're like dirty.
Gotcha.
Like they're literally like 70 years old and they're neighbors, but they're like best friends, but they talk shit to each other all the time. And Walter Matthau will just like walk out of his front porch and like John Lennon is like getting his mail and he's just like, "Morning, dickhead." And you're like, that is an old man. That is an old man.
I'll have to watch it. That one
It's-
sounds more intriguing than the Addams Family.
It's so good.
Okay. My third pick is The Blind Side.
That's a good movie too.
Yeah. The funny part is when like she like brings him into the family picture and yeah, like and the dad's like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "For a family picture or our Christmas card." Or something like that. It's funny.
Adam hates this draft.
I don't have very much.
Okay.
Where like he started eating at the I remember the scene now. He was
Yeah.
eating at the table by himself.
Yeah.
And then they were all watching football and she turned off the football and they're like, "Whoa, what, Mom?" And then they all said, "Yeah, okay, I remember now."
Yeah, and they also
That was a
had the
good
table-
Thanksgiving dish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is a great movie.
It was on a list.
It deserves to be on the list.
Okay.
All right, next up on my list, I'm going to go with Mrs. Doubtfire.
You're just picking stuff I don't know.
You've never seen Mrs. Doubtfire.
No.
Robin Williams,
No.
where he dresses up as a woman.
I'm uncultured.
Oh, this is not okay, Adam.
Dave,
It's a
These
it's a-
last couple years is where I've branched out of my typical superhero Marvel movie. Okay, give me a break. I'm getting there. I gotta get there.
You know what? This is great that you have so much time off for this Thanksgiving because I have so many Thanksgiving movies for you to watch.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see, Dave. We shall see.
Mrs. Doubtfire is not okay. All right.
Yeah.
Go
All
ahead.
right. My fifth pick.
Fourth pick.
Oh my gosh, is this draft over yet? My fifth pick is Spider-Man. Like
Fourth.
my my fourth pick is Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire when they're all having dinner.
Shut up, dude.
No. I remember it was with Aunt May and Mary Jane, and they had dinner together.
Yeah, it's a very important scene in the movie.
Yeah, and then she like dies.
You have seen the movie, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I would assume
she, like,
you've
gets
seen
exploded.
Spider-Man. Yeah, no, okay. All right.
Yeah.
No, that's a great pick. Deserves to be on the list. Okay, next up on my list, I'm not even gonna bother because I know Adam hasn't seen it, but the people watching this will probably love this movie. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. A little classic John Candy, Steve Martin trying to get home for the holidays.
I like it.
It actually is like a real like Thanksgiving movie.
I
They're trying to
gotcha.
get home for Thanksgiving, but they're like the odd couple. You know, like John Candy's like kind of like, all, think
Yeah.
of Chris Farley and David Spade before Chris Farley and David Spade.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great movie.
Great
You should see
movie.
that one too.
Probably won't, Dave.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
That's okay.
All right, my final pick is Freebirds.
Oh, the
Yeah.
chicken movie.
No, the turkey movie.
Is it turkey?
They're actually turkeys. Yeah.
What's the Chicken Run?
Yeah. Oh, come on, Dave. We talked about Chicken Run when I did the cake draft or the cake. Hear me out, cake with the thick thighs.
Is Chicken Run and Freebirds the same movie? They just swatched birds. They're like, let's just do Chicken Run again, but with turkeys.
Sure.
Dave. What?
I haven't seen Freebird. It's on the list. I saw that it was turkeys and I picked it.
I snorted.
You did.
This is a great draft. I love this one.
Yeah.
Okay. And last up on my list, we're going to go with A Little Son-in-Law. I'm the whistle, buddy. Pauly Shore? Nothing?
No.
No. Okay. Really?
This is probably the hardest draft for me to relate to you.
Have you seen any Pauly Shore movies?
No, I have not.
Viva Los Biodome?
Sure.
Pauly Shore was a thing, man.
Cool.
All right, moving on. This is just making me feel old.
You know what we could have done? We should have done like a draft of like pumpkin stuff, like pumpkin flavored stuff.
All right.
Oh, I don't have. I can't do it off the top of my head. Actually, maybe. No, I can't.
Pumpkin. What do we have besides pumpkin pie and pumpkin spice?
Like pumpkin, like bread,
Here's the real thing: pumpkin or peppermint.
peppermint. all day.
Peppermint all day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get crap for this all the time. Pumpkin spice sucks. Peppermint mocha is where it's at. Christmas has the superior flavors.
For sure.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a pumpkin spice guy.
Oh, I don't think I ever told you about this, but I'm like a big like milkshake guy, like a connoisseur of milkshakes.
Okay.
So when I was in college, I used to make different milkshakes for every single meal. And it
Mhm.
was around like winter, Christmas time. I made a peppermint white chocolate milkshake.
Ooh.
And like I literally like melted the white chocolate and drizzled it in, and then like the way like so when that hot white chocolate hit the ice cream, it made these like little like beads of white chocolate.
Ooh.
And then like when it like the crunchiness of the peppermint like hit each other, and the milkshake, it was so good.
like a flavor crystal.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was so good.
So good, dude.
It was perfect because like the peppermint and like the white chocolate like hit each other. It was fabulous. But
Let us know down in the comments below. Don't worry about the Thanksgiving movies draft. Let us know in the comments below. Are you team pumpkin spice or are you team peppermint mocha?
that sounds like a post. We're gonna have that as a post.
Yeah, let's do it as a post too.
Write it down. I'll write it down.
Peppermint mocha versus
Or
Pumpkin.
peppermint versus pumpkin
garbage.
flavors. Yeah,
Pumpkin crap.
yeah. We'll see. Let's see what you guys think. All right. Moving on to our next topic is we just talked about the PS5 Pro. Now we're talking about the Xbox Handheld. I don't know why I said it like that. We're talking about the Xbox Handheld. There's not much on it right now. I just think I want to bring it up as a topic of kind of maybe we had this discussion of Xbox and PlayStation? Should Xbox continue to make things, or are they kind of dying? I think what Xbox is doing is very smart, to be honest. You know why?
Why?
I don't know.
I
I just
agree
want to see your
with
thoughts.
you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think it's very smart, but I think my reasoning behind it you're not gonna like.
I think why they're doing it is they're not trying to compete on the console realm, like the console aspect. I think they're trying to make it that Xbox can be available everywhere and anywhere. As they based off their like current marketing campaign. Like have you seen that? It's like a image of like Xbox Game Pass on a laptop, on your phone, on like random devices, and I think that's what they're going for, if that makes sense.
I think this is confirmation to me that the Xbox is dead.
I wonder if they're not going to release a Pro. I don't think they're going to release a Pro
No,
Xbox.
they're
I
not gonna release. No.
Yeah, I think part of that is one, this Xbox console or handheld, there's not much on it yet. They said it's years down the line. And I think they're not releasing a Pro because of the focus on the cloud gaming and being able to play your Xbox games anywhere on the computer. The fact that everything is becoming more mobile and you can play it anywhere. But I also think that they realize that they're losing the console battle. Like you talked about this, that Microsoft like is losing the specific console battle. Like PlayStation has sold them millions to one, basically. Maybe not that much, but you know what I mean. A lot of copies to one. Where I think that they're trying to look at, because the Switch 2 is coming out, not a very strong console. And if they they look at the success of the Switch 2, I think the handheld's going to come after the Xbox handheld is going to come after Switch 2.
I'm looking at Xbox and I'm looking at Microsoft as a whole, as going kind of the way that I thought it would go and the way that I thought that they should go because they are losing the console battle. I think Microsoft is going all PC. I think they have kind of decided in their brains that, like you said, they're not going to win the console war. And a lot of the Xbox gamers have moved to PC anyway. And I think that's what they're doing. I think we're going to see a total elimination of the Xbox. All of the games will be Game Pass on PC. And I really think that this handheld console that they're coming out with isn't even direct competition to the Switch. It is competition to the Switch, but I think what it's more competition to is a Steam Deck. That's what I think they're doing. I think they're really switching over into only focusing on PC, like not strict PC gamers, but like strict Steam people. Where I think that's their target audience right now. People that play games on their PC and also want to have that Steam Deck to play them on the go. I think Xbox is like they've shifted their interest in competition from Sony to Steam.
That makes much more sense. And I wonder if they're going to have it more like a gaming PC, like how Steam, you can put Xbox Game Pass on it. You can put Ubisoft and EA and things like that. I wonder if they're going to gear it more, like you said, maybe I was wrong saying that they're going to see what the Switch does, but yeah, maybe they're seeing what the next generation of handheld PCs are going to be and what the Xbox can take and learn from that and make it an Xbox handheld PC, not so much a handheld console.
Right. And I think the reason behind it, and I think it's really smart of them, and honestly, I think that they can do it better because Xbox has a handheld is a handheld, but it's still in its base, in its essentially it is a console. You know what I mean? And they obviously have the track record and the knowledge of like what to do with a console. Steam doesn't. Steam just kind of like here you go. You know what I mean? Like I feel like Xbox is going to be able to do it. Not only make one that's better, but they're going to be able to make one that's better and cheaper.
Or they'll be able to have different models. They'll have the capability of making different models, like how the Xbox Series X is like the flagship Xbox, and the
Right.
Xbox Series S is just to have affordable option.
Right.
So that I wonder if that's the route they're going to do. They're going to have their Xbox H for handheld.
That I like that idea. You should patent that.
Yeah, Xbox H Pro versus non-pro. I
Yeah,
don't know.
and
HS.
I will say, if you can port this thing to a TV, if you can port this thing to an external monitor, like they're saying you're going to be able to, I would need to see it first. But like, if you can port it to a monitor, like you kind of switch, um, rip Xbox. Like, there's no need for it anymore because if this handheld is strong enough to play all these games Xbox quality, and you can port it to a TV and you can take it on the go, there's no need. There's no need for an Xbox, and I think the Xbox is dead.
Again, there's not much on it right now, and I really like how you geared the conversation to focus more on the PC rather than the Switch, because I think the Switch isn't trying to compete with like the other consoles. They want to release their Nintendo games, and the people that want to play the Nintendo games are going to buy it. I don't think they're trying to like, we want to be better than Xbox, we want to be better than PlayStation. So bringing the conversation to more of that PC focus and the handheld gaming PC in general, like, because they have the ROG Ally, the MSI Claw, they have the thing I bought but took back, the Legion Go. And the problem with those is like, yeah, they're good, but one, they're extremely overpriced right now. Yeah. Um, the battery life on all of them are very poor. The Steam Deck got a lot better with their OLED one. And just the capabilities of them right now are just kind of not that great. Like storage options, all. So, like you said, I think what Xbox is going to do is they're going to wait for the release of the next generation of handheld PCs, like let's say the ROG Ally 2, the Legion Go 2. They're going to see what the market does, what they can learn from it, and that's when we'll start to see more information on the Xbox handheld and how they're going to do that. But I just think the way Xbox is moving, like you said, it's the PC, but just the aspect of the access everywhere. Like, you can play it on your phone. Like, I could literally play Call of Duty on my phone right now off of Game Pass. You know what I mean? So like, that's really cool. Same thing with like, I think the cloud is what's going to be selling the Xbox handheld, and just the fact of having. I will say though, if they do it how there's this remember the Logitech had this Logitech Cloud or something like that? It was like only cloud-based gaming. That thing like died pretty quick and then like shut down. So it can't be cloud only. I think that's what would kill this, is if they try to make it cloud only.
It can't be cloud only, but like, honestly, I don't want to say it's easy, but I don't think Xbox needs to do a ton of work here. They literally just, all they need to do is find the best handheld, find the best second generation handheld, make it equal or better, and undercut it $100, which they will easily be able to do because they've been in console manufacturing forever. They know how to get these parts, these chips, and they know how to build, a good casing that's cheap. Like they're going to be able to make something just as good that's an affordable option. And I think honestly, just more people trust it. Like if I didn't know diddly about handhelds, right? I was just buying a handheld because I wanted a handheld. Do I want an Xbox, a company that I've known for 30 something odd years, or do I want a Steam Deck? Some random, you know what I mean? Like,
And never bought a game on Steam, things like that. Yeah. And that they don't even have a real console aside from that.
right. They don't have anything. There's nothing for me to compare their work to,
Interesting.
It's a very, very interesting argument.
You know what's also kind of interesting? I wonder if like the Steam Deck and the Switch have like the same manufacturers, because like when when Switch released their OLED screen, Steam did shortly after too.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. And like just the capabilities of the two were similar in a sense. But I don't know. That was just kind of a random thought I had. But it's also funny to see that handhelds are making more of a comeback. It's kind of like a cycle, kind of like the 90s. The 90s are coming back. But like handhelds were huge for a good span, and then they all kind of died off. And now we're seeing like handhelds kind of come back again. You think is it just like a cycle of life where handhelds are going to be big again and then die off? Or do you think that this is the future of gaming and everything's going to be more mobile.
I don't know. I do think that they're gonna probably die off again. Not die off, but definitely cool down. You know what I mean? Like I feel like handhelds always kind of do this. There's a new handheld that comes out and everybody gets super high on it, and then like you never hear about the handhelds anymore. You know what I mean? And like, because if you even look at the Switch, like 90% of the people that I know have a Switch never take it anywhere. It just sits on the dock, hooked up to the TV anyway. Like it might as well just be a console.
I think this is leaning more towards the future of gaming, though, just based off of how you can have access to any game anywhere now.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't,
Especially if it has the docking like ability.
yeah, like I don't discredit the ability to do so. I just think I don't know. If you really look back at the history, there's one handheld that's really stood the test of time, and it's the Game Boy. Everything else besides that, you look at the Game Gear, you look at the PS Vita, you look at the Nintendo DS. Like if you just look at all of these handhelds, they go through waves. People care about them, and then they don't. You know what I mean? It's not because no matter what you want to do, no matter how popular mobile gaming becomes and convenience and taking your games and stuff like that, it's not a staple of gaming. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't fit in the realm of like owning a gaming PC, owning a console version PS5. Like it just, I don't know. It's almost like when it comes to gaming, it's not a necessity. You know what I mean? And I think as long as it's not as a necessity, you won't get enough people behind it to really keep the train rolling for as long as I think they want to keep the train rolling for. Right. But I mean, I don't think it's going to fail by any means. I think it's going to be cool. I think people are going to love it. I just, give it 2 years, after launch. If I had to bet my bottom dollar on where they're making the most money, they're still making the money from PC gamers. Yeah, they're not making money. Like this handheld is not going to take over. It's not going to become like Microsoft's flagship thing. You know what I mean? Like the bread and butter is still coming from the console gamers, like the PC gamers that are hanging at home playing games.
I like handhelds just because of the fact that I do travel for work and I'm on a bus, and so that's why I'm intrigued by these kinds of things.
So you're the perfect person for this.
Yeah. Although I hate when my student athletes are looking over my shoulder. What game are you playing? It's like, leave me alone. Gosh dang. I'll talk to you after we get off the bus, after I kill these people in Lost Crown. Like, leave me alone.
You got a bad Santa.
Yeah.
I'm on my lunch break.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But let us know in the comments, are you a handheld gamer or not? And Dave, you know what that means?
Yep.
You're afraid of what's about to happen.
I am so afraid about what's going to happen.
We're going to do keep or cut of the best video game consoles. I don't know how this is going to go, to be honest. I know a couple, I think, but others, I'm not too sure. So
I know exactly how it's going to go. You think we made people mad? Oh, good Lord.
Yeah. So
yeah.
If you're just listening, here are the choices from the top over. And yeah, let's go through it. We have the Xbox, the GameCube, the PS3, the Game Boy Advance, the Super Nintendo, the Switch, PlayStation 1, Xbox 360, and the Wii. Keep 4, cut 5.
I'm cutting 5.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Notice how I didn't put any of the most current generation.
Yeah, and where's my N64 at, bro?
You know how hard this was? First of all, Nintendo's released way too much.
Clearly.
Yeah. And so, 4 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4 of these are Nintendo. So if you hated Nintendo, this would be the easiest keep cut ever.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no, 5 of these are Nintendo.
There's so many are Nintendo.
Dang, yeah. So
there's a lot
keep
going
5,
on here.
cut 4.
Okay. All right. My first cut. I'm gonna make some people mad, but the Wii can kick rocks. That thing sucks.
Wow.
Kick rocks. Wii.
Wow. You know, you're gonna make a lot of people mad. There's
I'm going to.
Question about it.
It's just
what about it you didn't like?
It's just everything about it gets old.
Was it just too gimmicky for you?
Yeah, I mean, we saw it, like, I don't know. It's like if you talk smack about like the Xbox Connect or the PlayStation Motion,
yeah,
like everybody's behind you. They're like, yeah, that's garbage. But if you talk smack about the Wii, everybody's like, oh my god, and you're like, it's the same friggin' thing, man.
Yeah. Okay.
It's gimmicky motion games.
Okay.
They're just like,
I got it.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay.
All right. First keep, we're gonna go with. I'm keeping that SNES. Give me that Super Nintendo,
Yeah.
I
I
gotta
like it.
do it. I gotta do it. That's my childhood.
Definitely. Okay. Okay.
All right. Next cut. This is so hard. I want to make so many people mad. I'm cutting that GameCube, bro.
Yeah. Is it the controller?
The controller and just like the level of games.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a big Smash player. Like, the titles that transitioned over. Like, if you look at the GameCube versions of like classic games from the SNES and from the N64 era,
Yeah.
the transfer over to the GameCube, I never loved the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like that transfer to the GameCube, just like, ugh.
Yeah. And honestly, the transfer from like PlayStation 2 to GameCube, like the same titles for the just different consoles, like
Right.
the GameCube was always worse.
Right. The PlayStation version was always better.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so that GameCube's got to go.
Okay.
All right. My next keep, I'm keeping that PS3, baby.
Yeah.
I have to do it.
Yeah. That was such a good era of gaming.
Oh, such a great era of gaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, next cut. I'm cutting the original Xbox.
Okay. Okay.
Adam needs a second.
My heart hurts a little bit, but I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
Adam needs a second.
Well, that now I know. Well, okay. What do you have left here? You have the Switch, the
I got
Xbox
this-
360, and the
this-
PlayStation 1.
And the
you
Game
got-
Boy Advance.
Oh, and the Game Boy Advance. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
You can still salvage this, Dave.
I don't need to, though. All right, for Adam's sake, I will keep the Xbox 360.
Yes. Let's go. That's all I cared about.
I'm cutting the Xbox 360.
Oh shoot.
No, I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, all right.
Was that a joke? Was this a bad joke, Dave?
No. I
Oh.
just got confused. I'm
Oh,
keeping
okay.
the Xbox 360. It was all that's. I don't know. It's a good era of gaming. The
Okay,
Xbox
yeah.
360 needs to be on here. All right,
PS3, Xbox 360. I agree.
yeah, next cut. Oh.
Switch, Game Boy Advance, PlayStation 1. Yeah, that's what you got left.
I'm cutting the Switch.
The Switch sucked.
The Switch sucks.
Yeah.
I literally bought the Switch for Zelda.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild. If Breath of the Wild wasn't a thing, I would have no reason to even
Yeah.
look at a Switch.
It's just the titles is what made that console. Like Breath of the Wild, Animal Crossing, Mario games, but other than that, anything outside Nintendo IPs, the game doesn't work. Like this,
No.
which sucks.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work. Like if you, that's the worst part about Nintendo is like if you just want to play Nintendo games, you need a Switch, but you can't use it for anything else.
No.
So it's like you need a Switch and you need another console to play other stuff.
Yep.
So obnoxious. Switch is
Yeah.
getting cut.
Yep.
All right, next keep.
Nintendo, Game Boy Advance, or the Sony PlayStation 1.
You know what? Like this is gonna make people mad, and there's probably no reason to do this because an old PS3 will play PS1 games. But I'm keeping the PS1 and cutting the Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
I'm doing it.
Why is that?
I don't know. The Game Boy Advance just like never felt right. It just never felt right in my hands. Like the game, like it wasn't such a great upgrade from the Game Boy Color. I just didn't need it. The
Yeah.
PlayStation 1, I just had such better nostalgia with.
Oh, for sure.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just had better nostalgia with it.
All right. I'll go through mine real quick. Let us know if they did okay.
Oh, they're going to let us know, all right.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to do this pretty quickly. My keep 5, cut 4 are obviously my first cut is going to be the Switch right off the bat.
Rip.
I hate the Switch.
Rip Switch.
My first keep is going to be the Xbox 360.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
That was my best era of gaming. That's when I was at my peak of video games. Like that's when I was good. My next cut is a Game Boy Advance. I never played it, to be honest.
It just
Yeah,
just did nothing for anybody.
My next keep, I'm going to keep. I'm keeping the Wii. I love the Wii, to be honest. That was also fun.
He's gonna dagger me right
Yeah,
now.
I only
Go
hung
ahead.
out with my neighbor friend, or not even friend, my neighbor, because he has a Wii. Like, I literally never hang out with him unless we were playing the Wii.
Hopefully not a friend of the podcast.
No, he's not. I don't remember his name, to be honest. Okay, so was that 2 keeps already?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Go ahead.
Ne- ne-
Dagger me.
Next cut is the GameCube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No. Rip.
Next keep is going to be the PS3 as well.
Let's go.
Yeah, the era of gaming in that was so good.
Bring it home. Bring it home, Adam.
My next cut is the PlayStation 1. Kind of to your fair point of, like, I think PS2, PS3 was just so much far superior than PlayStation 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can respect it.
Okay, now it comes down to the original Xbox and then it's Super Nintendo here.
You know what to do.
I don't. As much as I would love to keep the Xbox, I'm going to keep the Nintendo.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna do
Really?
it. Yeah.
Why? Just for me?
No, I just think that, like, the Nintendo back at that time, the IPs were so iconic and so fresh at the time that was new, if that makes sense. Like, it was so fresh in its time. The Xbox, like, yes, it was part of my childhood, but I remember the Nintendo games so much more than I do, like, any IPs on the Xbox, except aside from Jet Set Radio.
Yeah, nostalgia wise, I just feel like
Yeah.
I don't know. The SNES is here and the Xbox is here. It doesn't mean the Xbox is bad. It just I don't know. SNES is just like
Memory wise, it's Nintendo for me. Like, I remember so much more with the Nintendo.
yeah, it's just hard to not include it in the list.
Yep. Let us know in the comments which did you cut and keep of these iconic video game consoles. And that now brings us to Dave's most exciting moment of the night. The ultimate video game showdown of the best video games ever.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will finally be picking the greatest video game franchise of all time. We did this last week with superheroes, and this was by far the number one thing that we did that people really loved. I got so many messages saying that they absolutely loved, spoiler alert, not only the idea, but our choice as the number one superhero. So if you did not check out that episode, please go back and check out that episode. You're gonna like that one. So yeah, I'm excited to do this one.
And this is what we got. So the way we kind of did it, we broke down, we got 16 of the most popular games off of sales. There's a couple on here that, or there was a couple that were just kind of, we took Tetris off the list. I know that there's a very strong argument that you could say Tetris is the greatest game of all time, but I took it more as like an IP kind of situation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, more than just one.
Yes, this is franchises. We're looking for video game franchises. There was a lot of single games on the list, and honestly, a lot of games that I felt like are obviously great games, but games that are just on the list of highest sales just because they're so old. Like Pac-Man was on the list.
Yeah.
Great game. We owe a lot to Pac-Man, but in the grand scheme of things, like, it probably just made a lot of money, not because it's super popular right now, just because it's so old. You know what I mean? So stuff like that has been excluded, and we have also excluded sports games from this list.
Yep.
So
aside from Need for Speed.
That
kind
one's
of
murky water. But,
Yeah, murky waters.
like FIFA, Madden, NBA, like, we didn't want to clutter this list up with those types of games.
And so here are the 16 game franchises. The first rounds here, we have Final Fantasy versus Pokemon. We have Mario versus Need for Speed, Grand Theft Auto versus Halo. We have Resident Evil versus Lego game franchises, Zelda versus The Sims, Minecraft versus Tomb Raider, World of Warcraft versus Call of Duty, Sonic versus Assassin's Creed. Dave, let's kick it off here. Let's see. how this is going to go. This first round, I think, is going to be very difficult for you, isn't it, Dave?
I think this whole thing is just gonna be really difficult. Like I'm trying to like piece together what's gonna happen in later rounds too, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, how are we absolutely gonna pick this? All
First
right.
round, or
First
first go,
round.
first Final Fantasy versus Pokemon. Dave, let's hear your opening argument. Which one are you leaning, I should ask?
Yeah, which way are you leaning?
I'm leaning Pokemon.
I'm leaning Pokemon too. As much as I don't want to, I feel like I have to.
I think Final Fantasy is such a strong franchise. They're still making great games for a specific audience. Where I
Right.
think Pokemon is such a broad IP for adults, kids, TV. Like I feel like the overall franchise of Pokemon is so much stronger and so much more audience friendly, if that makes sense. Because I have never played a Final Fantasy game and I could not tell you what they even are, to be honest. I can tell you everything about Pokemon, and I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan, but I could tell you a lot about Pokemon.
This one's tough for me though, because like I don't know. The like my heart says I should go Final Fantasy. Just
Yeah.
because the thing with Pokemon, right, is like it's wildly popular and wildly successful. But at its heart, like how in depth is it? Like how in depth is the story of Pokemon and the gameplay mechanics of Pokemon outside of just a turn-based combat system?
They're branching out quite a bit though, with various different things like or I guess they're not really quite getting out there yet, but like they're becoming more of an open world. They're having more animations, things like that, to make it feel not so like turn-based, like fight more so than like, you know what I mean? I think they're branching out from their original IP. But I think I know what you're saying. Like
Yeah, like
the games are essentially the same every time it's released.
it's every time it's released, it's the same thing. It's the same story, the same combat system. Run around, look for Pokemon, take over this place, beat this guy with your Pokemon battle. It's like Final Fantasy has delivered a story, like a really in-depth, intricate story that spanned over nearly 16 games
Right.
with a pretty ridiculous upgrade in combat system. Like Final Fantasy started turn-based like Pokemon, and that went way off the rails when you're talking about like the new games. I don't know. I don't know. I think Final Fantasy is the better game. I really do.
Okay. I think I can agree with you, especially based off of the fact that it's not the same every game. Like it's a continuation. Is it a continuation of the story?
Yes, and it's a
Okay.
very in-depth story that people love.
So is it a game that you can just start anywhere, or you have to
No.
start from the beginning? Oh yeah.
I mean,
there's-
okay, so it's like one of those franchises where like the first game was really like the first game was really kind of an outlier, right? So the first game, if you play the first game, you probably are like that. This has no relation to Final Fantasy whatsoever, but it came out on the NES, right?
Gotcha.
So like, if you really want to play Final Fantasy, you probably got to start somewhere around like the American 3 to
Interesting.
really like have an idea of what's going on. And like we're all the way in like Final Fantasy 16, and
Okay.
that story spans. I mean, that story spans over 10 games. That's like it's really crazy.
Okay. All right. Final Fantasy it is.
I think Final Fantasy. I think we got to do it. I'm sorry, Pokemon fans.
Okay, next up we have Mario versus Need for Speed. I think this one's pretty easy, to be honest. I'm gonna go with Mario.
I'm going with Mario as well.
Yeah, Need for Speed, they were such a strong franchise and they were very fun to play, but they kind of died off. Like,
Yeah.
they kind of took a turn for the worse, and they haven't released very many good Need for Speed games recently.
I don't disagree with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Mario needs to be moved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's an easy
I also
decision.
think we'd get tons of heat if we did not let Mario make it past the first round.
I mean, we're gonna get a lot of heat for Pokemon. So.
Yeah, that's true too. Dang. That
Yeah.
was a hard fight though. Like, let's be honest.
That was a
yeah.
hard battle. I
Okay.
mean, if Pokemon was up against some other stuff, it was a clear winner. So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Grand Theft Auto versus Halo. This one's easy for me too. Dave, is it easy for you?
Also easy for me. I'm Grand Theft Auto all the way here.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto. It's so intricate. Like the game of Grand Theft Auto, everything you can do and where they came from to what they are now is insane.
The evolution is absolutely insane. Like the original GTA with that top down, and you watch the bullet just kind of like boop 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 through the screen. Like it's so crazy to see where they come. And I think mass appeal, right? Like Halo obviously has its following and a hardcore group of people that absolutely love it. But I feel like GTA kind of appeals to everybody.
I agree.
Yeah.
GTA it is.
GTA.
And GTA 6 coming
up.
I know where you're gonna lean on this one. And honestly, I can't blame you. And I think I'd be very individualized with if I were to. I would like to say Lego just because I love the Lego games, but I think why Lego is so good is because of the company of it, not so much because of the game itself.
Yeah, so if you guys are just listening, we got Resident Evil versus Lego franchise right now. I mean, if you want to, I think I'm obviously going to go Resident Evil here, but if you want to try to sway me.
I don't think I can sway you because, like I said, the games of Lego are very fun.
They're fun.
I think it appeals to a very childish audience. It's not very in-depth, and Resident Evil is a game that is like a game at its heart. Like it started as a game, whereas like Lego was Legos. Yeah, and had such a strong company to really. If Lego wasn't like an object in a company before the games, I don't think. And they're using other IPs to grow it as well. If that makes sense.
Yeah, they're using other IPs. Also, they have a lot of help from the toys and the movies and stuff like that. So, I mean, Resident Evil really kind of stands alone and like really kind of like set the stage for a lot of other games to follow in its path. So I'm kind of leading Resident Evil here, but
I think so. I think Lego's almost cheating because they have all the IPs and the toy and company of Lego. So I'm with you. Resident Evil, as much as I hate to say it, it's the better franchise in gaming realm.
Yeah, we're gonna do it. Resident Evil.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We have Zelda versus The Sims.
This one's easy for me.
Yeah. I don't have an opinion on this one, to be honest.
No?
The Sims was fun. I never like truly liked it, if that makes sense. I just never got into it. I can't say I didn't like it. I just never truly got into it, and I've never played Zelda. So this fight is yours, Dave.
I mean, I think we gotta go Zelda. Like, I'm giving The Sims the credit it deserves. It was really like, it was really like a groundbreaking thing to have something like that, and like bred a lot of life into the simulator genre. I just think throwing it up against Zelda, like Zelda has just really had like 40 years of consistent like just owning the market. Like,
Yep. Yeah. Okay. All right, this one I think is going to be easy for me anyways. We have Tomb Raider versus Minecraft.
Which way you going?
I'm going Minecraft.
As much as I hate to do it, like I hate to do it. I really see like this is Tomb Raider is my Lego. Is my Adam's Lego.
Yeah.
Tomb Raider is such a better game.
I disagree because of the fact that Minecraft is what you make it. And again, coming from like scratch, like this game was called like Blocks or something like that, something stupid, or Brick Lay. I can't remember what the name was it. And they've just expanded it so much. They've appealed to such a huge audience, kids, grown-ups, on the phone, on the computer. It's exploded, and they're still making it explode.
Oh, it hurts so bad. I'm sorry, Lara. I'm sorry. All right, Minecraft it.
Yeah.
Like Tomb Raider bred, like Tomb Raider really paved the way for a lot of puzzle platformers.
Yeah, but
Minecraft just started like its own genre though.
it started its own movement.
Yeah, I really did. All right,
Yeah.
I got it. All right,
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Minecraft. I'm sorry, Lara. I'm sorry, Lara. I'm sorry.
All right, next we have World of Warcraft versus Call of Duty.
This one is insane, dude. I don't even know what to do right here.
You know what I'm gonna pick.
I know you're gonna pick Call of Duty, but can you though? You gotta admit, it's World of Warcraft was huge.
Yeah, and if I was gonna do the same
Huge.
argument that we just had between Minecraft and Tomb Raider, like I feel like I would have to lean more towards World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
But like Call of Duty has held this genre of gaming for so long and nobody's touching it. People hate the games and they still buy them because of the far superiority of the gameplay mechanics compared to other first person shooters. You know what I mean? Like, yes, World of Warcraft is huge. It's still huge, but like there's other games like that now. Like there's League of Legends, there's Smite. I think Smite's very similar.
Yeah, but without World of Warcraft, do any MMOs exist?
That's true. If without Call of Duty, there are going to be first person shooters.
Right.
I think partially why Call of Duty is so strong still is just because of the old consistency of great games.
Right.
Hmm.
Like this is tough. This is really tough. And then like I'm going to be honest, like I will be 100% right now. I'm totally not biased right now. I hate both of these games.
Yeah.
I hate Call of Duty and I hate World of Warcraft. I have no interest in any of these games, but I understand the popularity of each and I think this is really really tough.
Can we flip a
okay.
coin?
No, we got to make a decision. Here's the argument on both, right? Where are they now?
Call of Duty still. I don't know.
Yeah, like where is World of Warcraft now?
Craft player counts. Let's see. I don't know. They're sitting about. I don't know.
Did it drop? Oh, it dropped a lot.
Oh, 444,000 daily players.
Okay. Do Call of Duty.
It's gonna be much higher, I think.
I think it is.
I mean, it's not even on the. There we go. This is Steam charts only, so that doesn't really do it justice. Call of Duty is sitting at 187,000. However, that's like Warzone. That's not including Black Ops. It's not include like the actual game itself. See, that's another thing. Like Call of Duty set such a standard with the Battle Royale. Okay.
Okay,
I have an argument here.
Okay, go ahead.
World of Warcraft is stuck to their true identity from the beginning.
Yes.
Call of Duty, they have evolved into something that isn't what they used to be.
And I want to bring up this point. Does Call of Duty having two different developers to tarnish its reputation?
I think it cheats it a little bit. Yeah.
Does it cheat it a little bit to have two separate studios working on the same franchise?
Yeah. Okay. I hate it. I truly hate it.
Are we doing it?
Yeah, we're moving Warcraft.
We did it. We took Call of Duty off the list.
Dang, first round.
Oh no.
I hate it.
Pokemon and COD ripped off the
If
list.
this was yes, we're having bias in this, but if I were truly just being biased, I'd say Call of Duty. But
yeah, no, if we were just picking our favorite games, this list would be different.
Yeah.
I would have honestly picked Need for Speed over Mario.
You think?
Yeah, if we're talking favorite games.
Okay.
We'll save the Mario argument because we need it, but
okay. Sonic versus Assassin's Creed. Blake, if you're listening, this might make you a couple pretty mad here. Dave, what are you leaning more towards?
to my honest opinion,
You're leaning towards Sonic. What?
Assassin's Creed.
Dang. All right, Blake, I lied.
Okay, here's my argument behind it, right? Sonic, even in its heyday, didn't hold weight to Mario.
No.
Sonic was Sega's answer to Mario.
Yeah.
And even in that situation, Sonic did not hold weight to Mario. I always preferred Mario games over Sonic games.
Yeah.
And then if you look at the evolution of these games, Assassin's Creed's, I'll be honest, Blake, I'm sorry. Like, they're not like they're making great games, but Sonic games now are borderline unplayable.
Oh, that is very true. They're
You know,
so bad right now.
They're so bad.
We were
So,
gonna
like,
we were gonna talk about generations, and they're like, this looks awful. We can't do it. Yeah.
So, like, even in its heyday, it still wasn't like a top dog. And then now it's kind of like embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I'm not going to say Assassin's Creed has been great, but I think they've been passable.
I think Assassin's Creed might be taking a turn for the better too. Like if you look at some of the more recent ones, like Valhalla was really good.
Yeah.
Origins. What's the other one?
What's the new one
Origins,
coming out? We talked about.
Mirage. The Mirage one, that one's got a lot of hate for other reasons that we don't need to get into. But again, the quality of the Assassin's Creed, I think Ubisoft in general is kind of flipping the switch. Yeah, they didn't do so great with Outlaws, but they did well with the Avatar Frontier Pandora.
Yeah,
Like
what's the new Assassin's Creed that we talked about?
Mirage.
That's where you're the samurai and you got 2 players.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Assassin's Creed.
I forget the name of it.
Oh, was that the one before?
Yeah, no, that's the one before.
Oh, no, this is games set cookies. Shadows. Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yeah, that's
Also,
the one.
Assassin's Creed Nexus is a VR game that did really well too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know, dude. I think I'm going Assassin's Creed here.
I think so too.
Yeah, Sonic. I love Sonic, but it just
Yeah.
just fell off hard.
Yeah, I agree. I like Assassin's Creed. All right, next round here we have Final Fantasy versus Mario. See, now this is where I can have a little bit more of an argument, Dave. For me, like, okay, this is more the bias realm. Mario was such a nostalgic thing, like from Nintendo, like, and still current Mario, and just all the branches of Mario Kart and Mario Party and Super Smash Bros. The IP of Mario is very strong, and now you see movies of Mario. You know what I mean? I think this is where Mario might have an edge in terms of like the overall appeal and the nostalgia factor for many, many people.
It hurts. It really does. Final Fantasy fans, I'm sorry. I could argue against Pokemon.
You can't argue.
I don't think I
Mario.
can argue against Mario.
Yeah.
I think we got to go Mario here.
Yeah. I just think the IP itself is so much stronger than what Final Fantasy has in terms of overall audience appeal and just what they've released in the past. And the variety of games is so much more broad and so much more for everybody. Our argument with Pokemon, is like it's the same game every time. Mario has something new for everything. Sports games,
Yeah.
RPG games, they have such a big base.
Here's the thing, right? Too, you can take Mario and you can put them in any situation.
Yeah.
And it's like automatically IP recognizable.
Yeah, and has some guarantee of success.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best game, but yeah.
Yeah, I
Mario?
mean, basically, if you put Mario in it, you don't even have to try.
Yeah. We
Okay.
talked about that in Brotherhood or whatever. Brotherhood.
Yeah, Mario and Luigi Brotherhood.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
Mario it is.
Mario it is.
Grand Theft Auto versus Resident Evil. I still think this one's kind of a no-brainer for me, but Dave, I know you're probably I don't know, you're probably I think you might be leaning more GTA.
I am. Yeah, as much as it pains me to do it, I think you have to go GTA.
Yeah.
Resident Evil's great, but like the mass appeal 1000% goes to GTA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got to do it. GTA.
And I think the audience is so much smaller with Resident Evil versus GTA
Yeah.
right now in today's realm of gaming.
even in the past.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even when we were like Vice City, Resident Evil 3
Yeah,
situation, like, yeah, it was no contest.
All right, Grand Theft Auto it is.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Zelda versus Minecraft. All right, Dave.
What are you
Let's-
doing?
I The Minecraft set the industry. It set such a high bar for so many games,
Oh, dude.
and
Okay, keep
and
going. I'm
it's
sorry.
so and it's accessible to everybody. And they took such a simple concept and made it such an iconic and unbeatable game in terms of like its capabilities.
Okay, I hear all that. I just want to say that I think this one you got to look at a couple of things, right?
Mhm.
Minecraft was a phenomenon, but I think you have to look at the entire body of work. I think Zelda, the original Zelda, came out in like 1988, right?
Yep.
And we're talking all the way until 2024, which
Yeah.
is 36 years. They've had 36 years in gaming and have proven to put out quality work in games that people love. To be able to do that consistently for 36 years in a gaming as in an area as competitive as gaming, like I don't know. I think that trumps Minecraft's kind of. I don't want to say they got lucky, but I think they definitely had like kind of a lucky strike that kind of
Yeah.
pushed them into the next realm,
Mhm.
where Zelda really kind of proved itself to be consistently great. And if you look at the evolution of Zelda from start to finish,
Mhm.
obviously have grown with the times. They have one of the most recognizable characters in video games of all time. Actually, two with Princess Zelda and Link. The
Yeah.
storyline behind each game is a consistent storyline that's been running for 36 years of gaming. And
Right.
I think honestly, like Minecraft, if you were to put out a new Zelda game and a new Minecraft game right now, I think Zelda still outsells Minecraft by far. Because I think the Minecraft craze has kind of died.
I don't think it is. I don't
Don't
think it's dead.
you
I
know?
don't think it's dying. I think it's still just as big as you would think.
Can we
But
get
here's
a
my thing. Here's my argument. So we just had an argument of Pokemon using the same kind of storyline.
yeah?
Isn't Legends of Zelda the same? Like save Princess Zelda against Gandalf each time.
I mean, but in different incantations. So like I don't know. I don't think we can use that argument
Okay. Okay.
anymore, because if you want to use that argument, then we should have picked Final Fantasy, because the story of Mario essentially is just saving Princess Peach from King Koopa every time.
Well, then, but we brought in the other IPs of like Mario Party, Mario Kart, the Mario Sports. I'm not
What
swaying you, am I?
what's a Minecraft player base right now?
A lot.
Can we find that?
Yeah. Player count. Maybe. Pow. Minecraft player count. This is 2024. Last, I can't see that. Are you kidding me? 182,097,364 in the last 30 days.
That can't be right.
That's right, Dave. All right.
That
Live.
that cannot be right.
Yeah, I think it is. Average monthly play
players.
172,130,556.
Can we
Peak
get
player count.
I don't know if
46 million.
Yeah, but I don't know if you could get an accurate Zelda count. Can we try to get an accurate Zelda count?
There's no way it's close to that.
But there's no way to also to track all of that though, right? Because how are they going to know who's playing?
I don't think there are 177 million Switches out there.
Yeah, but that's the thing though.
Yeah.
It's like the argument is that it's a game that stood the test of time. It's been
Oh.
there for so long. Like, how are they gonna track all of the people that are still playing?
Oh, you're okay. The whole, not just what the current game is. Okay.
Yeah, like I'm talking like the whole franchise. Like, how can you track all the people that still love the original Zelda, that are still playing Link to the Past on the SNES, that are still playing Ocarina of Time on the 64? Like,
Yeah. Okay.
I think it's, I don't know.
I think IP wise, and just the fact, like, to agree with you in the sense that it has stood this test of time. It's still making great games. It's always the reason people buy Switches and completely buys a console to play these games. And I would say, yeah, I will lean towards Zelda.
Let's go.
There
Let's
you
go.
go.
We swayed. We swayed.
swayed.
We swayed one.
All
Adam,
right.
Adam just swung state it.
Whoa, but politics here. All right, World of Warcraft versus Assassin's Creed. This is kind of a no-brainer to me.
I'm sorry, Blake.
What?
You're going
No.
Assassin's Creed?
Yeah,
Oh no.
this is more just a bias one.
Yeah, I think it is biased.
Yeah, we're a biased podcast. Come on,
Okay, you sell me on Assassin's Creed.
it's fun. World of Warcraft, you ready? I can play World of Warcraft right now.
Oh my god, dude. You are gonna get so much hate.
I win.
You are gonna get so much hate.
It's boring to me. And you have to pay so much money to like really get into the game now.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just get into it. Like Assassin's Creed, you can just pick up and go. And like the era changes of the game are really cool. Where Assassin's Creed started out was really cool. Just the whole idea of Assassin's Creed is cool to me.
All right. Well, if we didn't use the player count argument on Minecraft, I don't think we can use the player count argument on World of Warcraft either.
And I don't think the game itself is not as strong as what it used to be, World of Warcraft. You know what I mean?
All right, Blake, today's your lucky day. We're going Assassin's Creed.
Well, let's be honest. Look what it's facing up in the semifinals here. You're not going to let that one win. All right, moving on here. We
He's
have.
so mad. Why are you mad?
I'm not mad. This is going to be a hard argument for me to win this at all now. So. All right. Mario versus Grand Theft Auto. This is a lot harder, to be honest. We have one great IP versus one great, like, anything and everything in a game.
Yeah.
Which one are you leaning to? I am leaning more towards Grand Theft Auto, just the fun factor and where the game is at now. Like, the franchise where it is now and where it's going next year.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I'm leaning GTA as well.
I also think, for me, nostalgia-wise, GTA was much more, like, ingrained in my brain. Vice City and San Andreas and just GTA 4 and 5, so much stronger in my brain than, like, Mario.
I think the same argument that we can have with Mario being like, you can put Mario in anything and it's going to be somewhat successful. I think you can also reverse that argument and say, you can also put Mario in anything and it's going to be somewhat boring.
Right.
Because it's kind of just the same stuff over and over.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
I'm going GTA.
I'm going GTA too.
Yeah, GTA.
Wow.
That was an easy win.
All right. We have Assassin's Creed versus Zelda. I think I can't argue with you on this one. I think it has to be Zelda. Yeah, there's nothing I can say that's going to sway you off of Assassin's Creed and Zelda. So
I don't think you can put Zelda down with Assassin's Creed.
Honestly,
I just don't
Assassin's
think
Creed
you can.
probably shouldn't have made it that far, to be honest. World of Warcraft should have made it past, but
I think Assassin's Creed had a nice spot on the bracket.
Yeah.
I think it had a nice spot on the bracket, but this is where the Cinderella story comes to an end.
All right.
Now
Zelda
this one,
versus GTA.
bro. This is
Dave, I think you're going to have to kind of take this on your own because I'm 100% biased only because I've never played Zelda.
okay.
So let's hear your arguments of why you have to like argument with yourself essentially.
I really do.
Yeah.
You know what the worst part is?
What's that?
The games are essentially nothing alike,
Yeah.
but the IPs in general are so much alike.
Yeah.
They're both games that started in a very different place from where they are now. They were both absolutely incredible with evolving with the times.
Mm-hmm.
They're both game franchises that have stood the test of time, and they're both game franchises that have such a mass appeal.
Yeah.
This is so hard, dude.
Okay, here's my GTA kind of set the standard for many, many open world like action games like this too though. Like games want to be Assassin's Creed or not Assassin. Wow. Whoops. A lot games want to be GTA. And they're well, I can have that same argument. A lot of games want to be Assassin or why do I keep saying that? Zelda. A lot of games want to be Legend of Zelda.
Yeah. Dude, shit. As much as I hate to say it, dude, does the sandbox ability of GTA give it a leg up?
I think it does.
Zelda,
I think it does.
I think when you really look at it, the sandbox ability is kind of the one thing that Zelda's missing.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty straight. Zelda's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
GTA, you can literally do whatever you want.
And the replayability of any GTA, like you can just play and play and play and play and never like lose out. And it's multiplayer. You can play with friends for hours and you can become your own crime boss.
The online of GTA is so hot too.
Yeah.
I mean, people literally have freaking real jobs in GTA
Yeah.
that they go to in like online servers.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, this hurts so bad.
It sounds like our winner is GTA, Dave. I think it has to be. The mass appeal, the sandbox, the where the game is at now and where it's going. And I know Zelda's going to grow too, but just it set the world on fire with how much you can do in GTA.
I'm just grasping at anything to try to save Zelda right now. Oh, this stings. Ladies and gentlemen, your greatest game franchise of all time is Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto.
Well done, GTA.
That was pretty hard, to be honest. This went very similar to how I thought it was going to be.
Did you?
Yeah. I did, although I did not expect Assassin's Creed to make it 3 rounds. I
did not.
I think the way the seeding went, it just kind of happened. I think if you put Assassin's Creed up against literally any other thing except for maybe Sims 4 and Need for Speed, I think they don't make it past the first round.
I think this went kind of exactly how I thought it was going to go, but the only thing was my final 4 was in my brain was going to be Mario, Grand Theft Auto, Zelda, and COD. I really thought Call of Duty was going to make it further. I thought you were going to push harder.
I think I'm just kind of not happy with the state of Call of Duty right now. Maybe that's why.
I thought you were going to push harder for Call of Duty.
Yeah. But let us know what your bracket would have looked like. This is a great one. I think this is so fun. And this was such a great episode. Dave, what do you got? Oh, wait, that's your thing. What am I doing? Great episode, man.
This was a great episode. I love these. Hopefully you guys are loving us picking these things. If you could, little shout out in the comments to Adam here for, you know, all the things that he does for the podcast. These episodes with making the brackets and stuff like that are a little bit more taxing, a little bit more time consuming. So really putting in a lot of work there. So show him some love in the comments. Yeah. absolutely fantastic episode. I love this stuff. We're gonna have to think of another bracket to do. Maybe we'll do like best movie franchises of all time. I don't know. We'll figure out something. Drop in the comments below what you want us to pick the best of. We'll pick the best of anything. There just has to be 16 of them so we can make the bracket.
Well, the bracket can go all the way up to 32.
Good. Now
64,
you're asking
actually.
for trouble.
No, yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm just kidding. No, I love doing these brackets. Yes, they take time, but if you guys like them, we will continue to do them. And the way it goes is the more practice I get, the better I get, the faster I get. So the more brackets we do, they'll get better.
I mean, don't sign yourself on for a 64 team bracket
Yeah, I'm
right
not
now,
doing that. I'm not
but
doing that.
we'll keep it at 16 for a little while. But hopefully, you guys are digging
Yeah.
it.
And let
Yeah.
us know in the comments at some point, would you like us to do this live one time? I think this would be a very fun live one to do, to have some arguments of different games that we would have missed or different points that we could have had. Because imagine,
Oh yeah, and
what if Sonic would have made it to the Final Four if we had people arguing in our ears?
yeah, if you guys, I think a live would be sweet if we had people come in and kind of trying to sway us in different directions, like throwing their points of why the game's better than we're giving it credit for. Yeah, this is a fantastic live idea. Woo! Let's Talk Nerdy podcast is cooking us some things, boys. But yeah, absolutely fantastic episode. Without getting too mushy, this is probably going to drop on Thanksgiving. Or
No, it's gonna drop this week.
oh, is it?
Yeah, Thursday
When's Thanksgiving?
next week.
Yeah, next week.
Dave.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're a week early.
Yeah.
Oh, I did a Thanksgiving song.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then whatever. We'll save it for next week. Don't worry about it, guys.
Yeah.
I don't know what day it is anymore. Yeah, love you guys very, very much. If you guys are, not hitting all the buttons down below this episode, please do that. Like, subscribe, all the things. It really does help the channel grow. Adam, what you got for them?
If you're not following us on all social media, please make sure to do so. Let's Talk Nerdy Podcast. Come check us out, or me out on The Nerd Adam on Twitch. We've been playing some games on there. Microsoft Flight Simulator is going to be our next kind of game that we put tons and tons of hours in. Yeah, let us know any ideas that you want us to do. Join the Dead Discord. And we'll go from there.
Yeah, love you guys very, very much. Air banana to the moon, and we will see y'all on the next one.
Peace out, nerds.